Okay. All right. Thank you so much. All of you have spoken well. All of you have spoken well. It's good. Even though a few of you mixed up the information, but it's good to know that you guys are following to an extent and we're making progress. So, like I advise, after every class, make it a duty to go over the classes again. Make it a duty. Make it a duty to go over the classes again. So here is a task everybody has to adhere to. Now, you guys are learning SEO. You have to ensure that you, in your schedule for every day in your schedule, you have time allocated for learning and an improvement as it pertains to SEO. So that time could be 2 hours every day. So 2 hours daily, you allocate it to either you're reading stuff about SEO, you're reviewing past classes, you're trying to come up with content every day now for maybe the next 90 days. I might not be there with you whether you adhere to it or not, but it's going to do you a whole lot of good if you adhere to it. So every day, allocate time for learning as it pertains to SEO. It could just be you reading up something on the web about SEO. It could be you watching a video about SEO. It could be you going through our past videos. So I already posted on the group that the group is open to question, right? So we should be putting up questions, we should be having conversations that would help us learn and interact and share knowledge as the case may be, right? So since you guys have already done the recap, there is no need for me going through the recap again. You people have already done the needful. So here, I hope my screen can be seen. Can my screen be seen now?
No, sir, not yet, sir.
Is it loading? Is it showing that it's loading?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I believe you can see my screen now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, great. So just quickly, we were talking about rich snippets yesterday. So let me, because I think I had a comment, so let me, let's see how to, what should I use? How to win friends. So if we recall, so there's no rich snippet for this. There's no rich snippet for this. What am I going to use? Okay, how to win Erasmus Mundus scholarship. Let me see this. Also no rich snippet for this. I'm looking for a search that would allow me have rich snippet. How to travel abroad or a budget. Let's see. I want to give us a typical example of a rich snippet. So when we see, I'm not getting how to, what's that about? How to become a freelancer. Okay, now let's do this. This should be able to give me a rich snippet, hopefully. All right, great. So now, when you're making a search on a normal search, right? If you check out those other searches I did, you did not see a summary like this. Am I communicating? Am I communicating? Please now, you guys should
Yes,
be
yes, you are.
responsive.
Yes.
Yes,
Now,
you are.
so a snippet, just like the word snippet, is like a short extract of something. It could be a video snippet, it could be a content, a written content snippet. So a snippet is just like a short, is a summarized part of a content. Now, most times when you make searches and you see Google make these recommendations like this, you get these are snippets from this original content. Most time, because of these snippets, you might not even have to read the whole content. Do we get it?
Yes, we do.
Yes,
So
sir.
this is a rich snippet. So when you're doing a search on Google or any search engine and you see them bring out something like this is a rich snippet, right? Okay. Now, this is a meta tag. This I was explaining yesterday. You get meta tag is that which you click. You get is the one which you can click. As you can click this now, is the meta tag for this content, right? So then that said, something like this, when you see stuff like this, is the meta description. So this is the meta description. This one here is the meta description. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Does
Yes,
that
it
sir.
make
does.
sense?
It
Yes, sir.
does. Yes, it
All
does.
right. So I'm going to copy this link address. So backlinks. Now, if I'm writing a content, let's say I'm writing a content for Indeed, right? Indeed dot, oh no, let me know it's Indeed. Let me use Fast right? So I'm writing a content for Fast. Let's assume I've written a lot of, so I'm just going to jumble some words, or let me try and let me just take something from the web and try and do a copy and paste. So nobody should try that. Don't try and copy and paste people's work, but it's just for the purpose of this. So I just want to have write-ups. So I'm writing this content for faster for research. So I've written some of these things, right? So this is the content. Let's assume this highlighted word is the content, right? And I'm writing on how to become a freelancer, right? And then and as part of the content, I wrote pro tip, right? Sorry, pro tip to become a freelancer, you need a CV or portfolio, right? And then on FastIR's website, we have a content that talks about how to write a CV or portfolio, right? I can hyperlink that content to this place. Now, I said you can do that if you're using a Google Doc, you see this insert link. So when you come to this menu bar, you have here, you see this, you see insert link. You can just click on insert link and it will give you a prompt to paste the link. So let me imagine that the link where that post on how to um, um, how to write a portfolio is on FastIR side. So I'm just writing this because I didn't copy it from FastIR side, right? So ideally, you go and copy the link from FastIR side. Now, this link I have put here is a backlink, but it is an internal link. It is an internal link because I am writing this content for FastTire's website, and this link is still linking to a content existing in FastTire's site. So it is internal. Now, this is a link here. This is a link for Indeed.com. This link I just highlighted. Now, if I want to, if I say, okay, order relevant resources, I say, for instance, where you get, and I say, how to become a freelancer, right? So, and I put on that content that I'm supposed to post on FastTire's website, I put Indeed.com's link. This also is a backlink, but is now an external backlink. Do we understand it now? I did to do this specifically because you also asked the question. Are you getting it now?
Yes, I'm following. Yes, thank you.
So,
I'm getting it.
so both are backlinks, but one is internal because it links back to content existing on the site you're writing for, while the one that is external is linking to content outside of what you are, of the website you're writing for. So that said, let me try and open this. Okay, I don't have strength to do that with you guys. Sorry, my network is a bit slow. It's been my... So I'm trying to show you guys that's... Oh, I didn't even need to put that. I'm just... Okay, so let me... I'm already... Okay, so let's use this for instance. I'm hoping there's a link here I could use to show that. Now, okay, let me use it. So now here's the content existing, right? There's a link on this. If I click on this link, it takes me to a content already existing on FastTire sites, right? Already existing on FastTire sites. So that is an internal backlink. So I'm trying to see my network is a bit slow. So I'm trying to see an example where see, Uche, your video is on. So I'm not getting what I'm looking for. I'm not getting what I'm looking for, but I just want to believe the other explanation I gave here is enough to settle that, so that we don't spend so much time on that. I've already explained what meta tags and meta description is. So for all of you that have a PC, how many of you have a PC? If you have a PC, indicates, let me see, indicates, signify, let me see. So because everyone would need to install an app. If you have a PC, please, who else, please raise, let me see the people who have PC here. Who else? So 3, who else has PC here? You have your private computer. Okay, because you would actually need your PC for, I think the next 2 classes. You might not need it in the next class, but in one coming after, then you can bring your hands down. So for people who have PC, install this Chrome extension on your system. It's called Moz. Look at it here. Moz.com. So it's a Chrome extension. So you can just type Moz Chrome extension on your Chrome. Then it's very easy. You can just install it. So have it. We would need it in a future class, right? So that's for that. So I asked a question yesterday and we did not get it. So I'm bringing it back again. Who can tell us the 4 content types we have? What are the 4 content types?
Good evening, sir.
Somebody should. Yeah, good evening. Who's speaking?
All right. We have lexical content. You have how to
No,
how
not that. Not that. That's category. We have based on purpose, not based on structure. Based on the purpose of the content, we have 4 content types. Who can name those 4? I'm waiting. We might just be here until somebody answers.
I am
try. Is it informational content?
Okay.
Educational content. Educational content.
Sorry, who is the guy speaking? The lady should mute. Let the guy finish.
Okay, sir, this is Moise.
Muiz, okay. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Content. We have transactional content. We have educational
Is his line breaking?
Maybe it's my network. I've finished listing them.
Please list them again because your network was breaking.
Okay, we have informational content. We have transactional content. We have educational content. We have navigational content. We have review content. We have comparison content. How to guide content.
No worry. You've passed. So all those ones now you've still mentioned based on structure. Based on purpose, we have 4, which is the first 4 he mentioned. So please always take note of that. Then based on structure, that's when you have your listicle, your how-to, your review. You get, so it's kind of different. So always have that in mind. Don't mistake that. Right now, that said, let's do a review of what you've done so far. Again, I won't, I can't overstress, I can't overemphasize the importance of going through these classes. Sometimes I can see most of you come in and leave, network kicks you out, you try coming back in, you miss a couple of breaths of conversation, you come back in between. Sometimes the tiniest thing you miss, you get makes a lot of difference in your understanding of this thing. So do all you can to always go back. It doesn't even matter if it's the immediate class. If there are things you have forgotten and it's in class 1, go and review class 1. You get, like I always say, the knowledge you have will always remain with you. The skill you develop will always remain with you. I can only take you to the river, show you how wide or how large the river is, show you the nutritious part of the river that you can drink from. I would never be able to force you. You get, but the only thing I can do is to push you and be sure that I take you to the river. It will be left to you what you do in that river. If you decide to drink, fine. If you decide to just stand in the river and be looking at it, fine, right? the river here is the information I'm giving to you. You have a lot you can do with it. You understand? You might just think it's ordinary sections, you might just think it's videos coming. You have a lot to do with it. Chew it, understand it, go back to it. This is not the type where you say, oh, I finished reading it, I'm done. You think you've closed. No, there is always something new you're going to understand. There's always something that is going, maybe you did not catch it the first time. I know for sure, because that's how this whole industry works. So that said, we're going to review some of your assignments, and I'm hoping the people in this place are the people who have the assignment. Like, I hope, I think there are one or two people absent. I don't really know. So I hope I don't get to open the assignments when they are not here. I don't want to review assignment for somebody who is not here. So this is for Oluchi. Oluchi, are you here? If this is your content, unmute yourself. We're going to have a conversation. So as we're having the
Okay, sir, I'm
conversation,
here.
all right. So as we're having the conversation, you also in the background should be listening, because it can also apply to you, because most times you also did the same thing. Remember, today's class is revision. So we're doing more of revision. I'm not just coming to talk like you get. So transform, transcend, triumph, top 5 books for self-development. What inspired you to rename or to come up with this title? So because I know the title was
Sir?
Top 5 Books for Self-Development. The title we gave was Top 5 Books for Self-Development. What motivated you, or what inspired you to add this?
Okay, I felt like since we are writing top 5 books for self-development, so basically anybody that is reading a book for self-development wants to either learn something, transform themselves, and be a better person. So that's why I came up with the idea of transform, transcend, and triumph. Because for you to be wanting to improve yourself, if you basically figured out that, okay, I have something I need to learn, I have something I need to improve on, and I want to become a better person. So for you to become a better person, you have to transform yourself. You have to transit from whatever habits you have to become a better person, then triumph to be a better person. So that's why I came up with this quotes: transform, transcend, and triumph.
Okay. All right. So that makes sense, right? So it begins to show that aside just having the topic to write on, you're beginning to think like the people who want to even read the content, right? You are trying to put yourself in their hearts. So, but for the purpose of the search algorithm, which might also be a bit strict. Remember that we said this is a mathematical code, right? This is for the human, right? So we're also writing people first, but we could do a tweak so that the algorithm does not miss what we're doing. So I could do this. Top 5 book for self-development to transform, transcend, and triumph in life. Now, this makes it better, right? Another way I could do that is I could do this. Top 5 books for self-development. And I put this: transform, transcend, and triumph in life, right? So this, because remember that when somebody does a search, this is the part that will show first as the do we have any Google search here? Let's say top 5. Let's do top 5 books for self-development. So I'll also apologize, because if we have to do this thoroughly, we might not be able to touch everybody's work. But the good thing is that you would learn while looking at other people's own, and also improve yours. So this is the 25 top self-help books for personal growth. Right now, it's straightforward: 7 self-improvement books that changed my life. Now, when you see this, you want to be like, oh, this book changed this writer's life. Let me see. Now you can see that even this person went ahead to list those books in their meta description, right? In the meta description, they listed those books. So you can peep and have a quick peep of what can be found in this book. And if it appeals to you, you click and go ahead. See how this person puts his own. These are 3 best self-help books of all time to read at any age. Do you understand? Now, this is you trying to, or these people are just trying to appeal or to work with the algorithm. So you put it this way so that this comes first. As you can see from what I'm showing you, despite what all these other people did, you can see that the other things came outside. That's part of the top 5 because the algorithm needs to read what it is in the content first. This other part now that changed my life is appealing to humans. This first part, the 7th is to indicate to the algorithm. So you can see 18 personal books to read in 2024, right? The 33 best self-help book of, so the algorithm first picks this, the 33. So he wants to know straightforward what this content is about. So this content is about best self-help books. That's okay for the algorithm. Now, when humans do the search and they will not see all time to read at any age, they will now, so the same thing with this. What are the, no, okay, this is just straight. Let's see another, the greatest personal. So this one did not tweak anything. So it's the same pattern I would advise for this. So this, you could use this or use this. And always make your heading bold because, of course, it's your heading. And okay, it's good you put that heading 1. So this can be centralized because it is your title. This can also be centralized. So that when you're sending, maybe you have a client and you're sending the work to the client, it's going to be neat and easy to read. Now, when introducing the title of a book, try to make it engaging, ready to level up your life, dive into the most impactful books or personal growth and expertly. So this kind of a content is more personal, right? So you could add a bit of storytelling. You get something like, I know why you are here. Okay. You are probably looking for books that will help rekindle the fire in you or help guide you towards the path of triumph in life. A couple of years ago, I was in similar position, and after speaking with a mentor that is well in her, okay, so for me, in his 50s, he recommended these books, and I am writing today as a testimony to the value that these books hold. Why there were others recommended, I have sorted these ones in no particular order, and I believe they would help you. I call them my top 5 books for self-improvement to transform, transcend, and triumph in life. Brown. So you see how I did the intro. So, and the reason is because of the kind of content we're looking at, right? So this kind of content is more personal. So a bit of why should the person reading be interested in even reading further? Do you understand? Why should a person be interested in reading further? You get, so you putting it this way, you got this valuable resource from somebody who is elderly. Of course, the person has lived life, seen things, you get, and here are the person's recommendation. You understand? Now, in a book like this, and sorry, I said the book, in a content like this, where you're making recommendation of top this or top that, right? It's also important for you to always state what are your considerations, what did you consider before putting the books together. You get, so you can have a subsection of yardstick for selection. So if you go online, a lot of people have written anything. You get, they claim this book and that book is the best book. And that is also something I saw with almost everybody's content. People just came up with some books, which I'm not doubting that they are good, they are self-development book, but what made you decide that these are the top 5 or these are your top 5? Do you understand? What are the things that helped you make that decision? Is it based on a mentor's recommendation? Is it based on the reviews the book has on shopping sites like Amazon? Is it the testimonials about the book? Is it the amount of views the book has on YouTube? Because you know some of these books have audio, this thing. So if a lot of people are viewing it, it definitely means it's helped them. You get, have you read them yourself? In what areas did the books impact you that made them or made you pick them? So you come up with your own yardstick. Now, your own yardstick could either be biased based on your own evaluation, but the important thing to anybody that comes to your own content to see that you have something you even you used to hold on to say, okay, these are the things I'm going to look out for. Oh, books that have sold over 1 million copies worldwide to start with. You understand? So that's something that was missing in a lot of your content, because then when people come and want to cite your content, they need to see something tangible, something really strong that can convince them to say, okay, this person did a thorough work, right? And while I know that these are your early stages of writing, it's also important to start knowing you get top this, top that. You get, a lot of people write top this and top that content without even tying it. You get what they just go online, read what people have written. You get, why are people writing about it? What have you, yes, people have written about it, but what is different about your own? It could not be your method of evaluating those content. For instance, you're writing best companies to work in Nigeria. Why are you saying these are the best companies to work in Nigeria? Is it the number of staff they have across the country? Is it the number of branches they have across the country that made you come up with that decision? So these are the things that distinguishes you from just any other random content writer. And that is why when you state your price for writing a content, you can back it up because you know the amount of work that goes in. You understand? So this is for listicle contents, right? Top this, best this. You should always have this in your content. You can call it something else. It can be method of selection, yardstick for selection, whatever. But what that specifically means is these are some of the things or considerations. These are some of the things you consider before picking those content. Am I communicating? Am I communicating?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
All right, great. So the person that reviewing her work, I hope I told you to unmute yourself. Don't just unmute yourself. She's no longer online.
Yes, sir.
Unmute yourself. Just unmute yourself.
So I'm here with you.
So, okay. Embark on a transformative journey. So, I don't think you need this heading, right? So we could just say you can start with what is self-improvement. You can define what self-improvement is. You get tell them or explain the process of self-improvement. Sometimes even explain how self-improvement works. So in your content, you can even advise to let them know that self-improvement is not something that just happens overnight. You get you can say you can tag that heart-to-heart conversation, because that's the kind of content this is about. This is about people. So heart-to-heart conversation, that's where you advise. Despite the books listed here, you have to be patient with yourself to know that the books here is not like you read them 1 minute and then they change your life. You also have to apply those things. So you can also even call that caution. You can call that advice, whatever it is, but is you. So these are the things, these are the details that differentiates you with just any other writer. Because you're not just only coming to tell the person, oh, these are the books. What else can the person get? Can you communicate sense? Can you communicate values to the person aside just coming to see the top 5 books? You get what is self-development? How does self-development happen? So these are other how does self-improvement happen? You get
Yes, sir.
when can you all these things are when can you confidently say your life has improved, right? So these are also headings that can be even before you start listing them. So because you want to look at aside, the person needs to know what self-improvement is. What is similarity between self-improvement and personal development? You get how do they combine? You can have a heading say similarities between self-improvement and self-development, right? So you can have this as a heading. I'm speaking to everybody now, you understand? So this is the way you're beginning to reason the content. So you're not just reasoning the content that you just want to go list the books, boo, and you're gone. No. What else? What other value can the person get from your content? So all of these are other relevant, like as you can see, I'm just thinking of them from my head because I'm imagining what it will be like in the heads or in the heart of the people who will find this content relevant. By the time I've written about this thing, so you're coming to find the top 5 books, but then I have told you, I've given you the intro, how I came about these books. I've given you what my yardstick of selection is. I've kind of explained a bit of what even this thing you're looking for is. You understand similarities. How, at what point would you even know? Because it's not for you to say, oh, you want to start a self-development journey. At what point would you know that, okay, you're making progress? You can put all of those things. Okay, I can see where you have understanding personal development. Okay, now this is great. This is kind of what I'm talking about, but it needs more expression. You understand? This needs more expression. You should talk more about how the person can understand this thing. Okay, distinguishing personal growth and development. So this is more like it, but it needs more expression, like it needs more detail, it needs more conversation. It's a heart conversation. So when you're having business conversation, you use the business tone, but in the detailing, you're well detailed about what you're presenting. Then you can now come and after you've done those things are preparing the person you get, then you can now come and list your books. Remember, you have also told the person how you came about listing the books. So, but here's a mistake. You have top 5 books of personal development, but your title said self-improvement. So terminologies have changed, which is not supposed to be. So since you use self-improvement in the title, this should be self-improvement. So are you saying it? So it should be
Okay, so I can
self-improvement.
see it.
So it should be self-improvement. So you maintain that, you understand. And in the beginning part, we've said that, oh, these were listed in no particular order. So that's okay. The 7 habits of highly effective people, you get. Why is this in your list? What is there about this book? When was this book written? So this you now give a bit of information about this book. When was it written? Who is the author? Why is the author an authority in this conversation? You understand? So you can now have, so this is a H2. No, this can be a H3. This is a heading 2. This is a major header. So it will now have subheadings. This now, the number 1 book is now a H3. You understand? So you can do brief explanation here. You can write however long it is, and then you can now write about author. You can write a bit about the author. You understand? Year of publication. You can write about the year of publication, page length. You can state how long the book is. You understand? Ebook or hardcover. You can state if he has ebook or hardcover. You get all of these things are informing the person. You get, so your own work will be so detailed that when they go and see other people's own and come and see your own, that's how people find your own and can share your own, because the detailing in your own is different. You wrote about the book. Why is the book good? You wrote about the author. You wrote about the publication. And in writing about the author, you're also saying why the author is an authority in that field. You talked about the year of publication. You talked about the page length of the book. You get, does the book have ebook? You talk about the sales, global sales. How many copies are the global sales? How many copies are the book sold worldwide? You get, is there even an audio translation? If there's audio translation, you can add a link, find here on YouTube, or if there's a distance. So let me just quickly go to YouTube. So I think with the way time is going, I even doubt I can do as much as I thought we could do. So, but whatever is being covered, everybody also needs to take note. So what's that book? What's the name of the book? What's the name of the book again?
7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
7 Habits of
7 habits of highly effective people.
So you can see audiobook, right? You can see audiobook. So it's going to show. So, but you also want to be, so you want to reference the author. Where's the author? Does the author have a, so if the author, so you take your time and find the author's own page, right? So that you do not give credit to somebody else. But I will just use this one just for illustration so that I don't waste some more time. So this is the audiobook, for instance, and it has to be maybe the complete adaptation. You can now say here, find here on YouTube. You get? So you add the link. So now this becomes an external backlink. Are we seeing how we add external backlinks here? You can say find the audio translation, for instance, of you write 7 habits of blah, blah, blah. So just leave it like that. So, but you can write it in full. So the algorithms also seeing that this is a link will also read this and where it's going to, you get, and it also passes authority from that page back to your own. So this is how you express your own content and it becomes solid. You understand? It becomes solid. If there's you get, it becomes solid. So by the time they are checking the things in your own and they go to, okay, now here are the books ranking, for instance, let's just open and see the detailing in those ones and compare it to what we're doing now. And you kind of are going to see the difference you get. So these are the things that make you write the content and you can attract somebody who have written on the content for a very long time. Oh no, this is not that's an e-commerce listing. Let me open. Was it this one I opened? Let me close it. So this is 18. So Atomic Habit, this person just explained the book. So this person put page number, price, and year, right? And a link to get it on Amazon. But remember that in our, so are you seeing some of the detailing, and which is also good, you understand? Which is good. He explains about the book a bit, you understand? So you also explain, remember we have session where you explain about the book, you write about the author, you write about the year of publication. There are a lot of things you can put out that would, you can also add how to get the book, how to get a copy, you get. And this is also how affiliate marketing starts, because if you're writing content like this, people will come and see that you've written a book on self-development. Maybe they also authored a book on self-development, and this your particular page is ranking. They want you to feature them on that page. So what would they do? They will come and ask you if you can write about their book, and that is how affiliate marketing starts. That is also another conversation for another day. So this detailing is lacking in the other ones. So when you're now done in this, you can now write a conclusion. This conclusion has to be in H2. So you also have to understand this is a H3 because it's under a H2. Anything that will be under it will be a H3. Sorry, a H4. So because if you want to make this a heading, this will be, because this H2, this is under this heading. Top 5 books, number 1, this. So this is greater than this. And then this is under this. So this becomes a minor to this. So, but number 2 is not a minor to number 1. It's actually a minor to number 2. So, sorry, it's actually a minor to this heading. So if this is H2, that's H3. So that's another way you understand that. Distinguishing personal growth, this is a H2, not a H3. So, and then you make it bold so that it stands out, even it calls for attention when reading. And I think there's a difference in the, yeah, I found it. There's a difference. So you need to also ensure that your what's it called now? Font style is the same all through. This font style is different. So when you're done, you do Control A and you come to font style. If you're using Times New Roman, you change everything to Times New Roman at the end of your content, and then you use the same font size to and things. So this is what I'm going to say about this. And then when you're done, you run it through Grammarly to check for what's it called, grammar and all the rest. So you also need to learn how to hyperlink. So some people just put link in a particular word. No, you find the phrase at the thing. So remember I said find the audio translation of 7 habits. When the algorithm reads, the algorithm will see that, oh, this content is about the audio translation of 7 habits of highly effective people on YouTube. So he understands what this is. But if I just put the link on find here and I go and put the link on here, you get it doesn't show that it doesn't show mastery of what I'm doing. So you have to understand that too, and also know how to put your backlinks in the relevant places and do it professionally. You get, so you don't just go and hang like what I saw. Not to I do not. So I think we're trying to train someone, which I'm going to review this with the person later on. Where's that content I saw? Which this is not how to put a link, which is not how to put a link, and I don't even know how long. I think it was done either on Friday. So, but it's going to be reviewed. So, for instance, just putting this, addressing gaps in your CV and then putting a link just on CV, this is not professional, right? You need to find proper phrase you get, or you need to rewrite this in a way that it creates a proper phrase. So when the algorithm comes, it's not just reading CV, yes, but what's more, so you need to, that's right up that the word, the anchor key, the anchor word or the anchor phrase that link is on needs to really explain or show direction of what that content is leading to. So just a standalone word like this is not too sound. So I don't think we have much time, but let's take one more. Is Kelvin in this class? This should be for Kelvin. Is Kelvin here? I don't think he's here, so we're not going to use this one. So let's use another one. So you can see what it entails when I'm reviewing your work. And so when I'm telling you guys, submit your assignments on time, you have to submit it on time. And when I'm done reviewing all of this and giving you feedback and tell you what to do, you can see what it entails to get all these things done. Who has this assignment? Is this, who has this again?
Time for me. It's
Who?
for Chini.
Okay, all right. So let's start the same way. Okay, you use recency as your approach to 5 books for personal development in 2024. Okay, which is also good. So you use recency, and the quote starting it ever since I was a child, I have had this instructive response. Okay, that's also nice. So it's kind of easy the person who is coming to read, and then this, but also take a cue from the explanation I made in the last revision. You want to also give the content a good landing, put a good storytelling, okay, which is good, you did. And as a person, this potential is often discovered. So, but also maybe like lead to the point where you're explaining how this content or how your selection came about and all that. What is personal development? Good. You follow the same thing I was explaining in the other one. You try to first explain it. You can also see reading books for personal. You can also see some other things I pointed out. You can go beyond those other ones I talked about. You can just reason through and see how you just put yourself in the hearts of the people. So you don't just want to sound like every other content that is online.
Yes, sir.
You want to always state, okay, I like this is here. You want to always state why these books are part of your selection. So now, another thing I would advise to create, if you want to give your content opportunities to be featured in rich snippets, in content like this that has to do with top 5 or top this, first list out those books, list them out here, then you start addressing them one by one. Do you
Yes,
understand?
sir.
Now, because when the algorithm crawls your content, if it wants to create a rich snippet, it will just come pick that 5, because the person type, for instance, top 5 books, the algorithm will just show them that 5 you listed. You get now, if the person is not interested to click, it gives you opportunity to now come further to read. So you can first list them. So the algorithm has a place in 5 lines, it will just pick it and show to people, and then that leads people to want to click. And I also like that you added picture or images of the book in the content, which is nice. So this is also how you interact with your clients, even as going to the point of creating the or giving them a guide of what what's it called, the book, the sorry, did I say book? The content banner should be like, you get content banner is this. Sorry. Is this. So we're also going to teach you how to create. So this is just image pics. You get, I think we've already prepared something for you people that will teach how to do that. So that's also good. So you can also take a cue from what she did in terms of adding those images to also make the content easy to read. You understand? So it's not just words. It also helps please or ease the reader. So they are not just reading black and white text. When they see images, it makes things easy. And then I also like this, what's it called here? That is from this book, you understand? And it's from this book, but it adds a touch to it. You can even do a table of all the books you listed, their page length. So you can do a table of the top 5 book and their page length and prices. So the books, book titles, you name all the book titles, you have a heading, page length, you write all the page length, prices, you write all the prices. So all of these things make your own work. When people come and read your content, you get the difference is just clear. You understand? They know that you did a thorough research. You understand? You can even do publication year. In your table, you have the publication year. All of these things are things that make your content stand out. There are a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about, and if I keep talking, we would not end today. So another thing is adding images that kind of summarize what your ideas are talking about. For instance, if you were making a joke somewhere, you could or if you're making a point, you could just use a banner. You could create a banner and use that and summarize those things you were saying, and then add that to the page, right? I think I've showed you guys one page like that where we did that. And in one of the classes ahead, we're also going to show you how to do that in your content. So I don't think I can take any more. So we're going to do questions now so that I can also find time to do some other things. All right. So I will take questions now. I think the whole thing I covered, everybody follow through. The other things are now maybe your structuring, you get finding your flow, finding your writing style, which that 30 days writing challenge would help you achieve. So a lot of you are still finding your writing style, because when I read your first day's content, your first assignment and the second assignment, the writing style, the voice is actually different. And you might not know, of course, because I've been writing for a while and I've also read from what different writers have written. So I know when your voice changes within a content. Some people, you're writing one content, but you use different voices at different points. Like it just shows. You get that also happens when you do a copy and paste. If you're writing and you go and copy somebody's work and put in a particular line, most times clients would calculate it that you copy that part. So when your voice is always changing, I can't really start explaining to you how to figure out your tone and voice now, because you need to be writing, especially for people who are just starting, you need to be writing for a while, then you have a hang on it, but not to worry. So that's all I can cover for this evening. I'm going to take questions. Thank you very much. Okay, so I can take your questions now. Please bring them. All right, you're welcome, Maurice. Am I joined? My other device, is it still here?
I don't think so, sir.
I'm
No.
seeing.
Okay, it's here. It's still here. It's still here.
Okay, but please bring your question. I mean, we don't have questions.
I don't think anybody has
Good
questions
evening, sir.
today.
Good evening, Kemi.
Yes, thank you so much for the class and for all your efforts. So my question is that you earlier on in the class you mentioned that we should take out time to read and to read about SEO. So I wanted to ask, like, are there books that you can recommend for us to read, or are there particular people that we can follow, maybe on LinkedIn or something? Yes, and then I don't mind if you can still speak a bit more to writing flow. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so for reading, it's just about you being hungry enough. And instead of you reading and just reading amiss, I would always put it in this way that you should read in line with what we're already teaching, right? So the stuffs we're already covering in class, you understand? You want to look at those things we're mentioning and expanding on them, right? So when you hear them, you expand the reading. And that is also part of the things that will inform your task for the writing challenge for this week. And that is also what informed your assignment 3 and 4. For people who have not done it, I'm still waiting for your assignment 3 and 4. So those things we're already covering in class. Try expanding on it. If you heard something about rich snippets, go and expand more on rich snippets, how to write articles on that can get featured on rich snippets. That's the way you're going to look around it. If we talked about EAT, you want to dive more into that and see what more you can find out. You want to go back to, I would always say, you want to go back to what we have been teaching. Go back to these things. Even create a content
with like create a content explaining what you learned from those teaching. You understand? That is in a way going to show that you're getting a hang on it, you know. Today, when this class started, I said to see what they learned from yesterday's class. It was strategic. You get the reason for that was strategic is so that I want you people to start having a hang. And I noticed that most of you were mixing the terms. You understand? Most of you were missing the terms. But the good part is that you people are showing signs of improvement. So the part of having a good grip of those terms will always come as the time goes. So that's what I'm going to say. It's not about following people yet. That's not what you're going to be looking out for. And it's not about reading and miss. Read within what you have first. Know those ones. By the time we're done, you can now start firing to other areas. You understand? So all these things we're calling, all these terminologies, try and be expanding on it. You get when we talk about algorithm, when we talk about search crawlers, web spiders, go back, find out what those things are in more detail. You get so that is that for that. So for writing tone, I might not be able to talk more on it, but I just know, just stay with what you're doing. When the time is right, you would have a hang on it, or I would know how to bring that back. But for now, just stay on the lane you're in. Adetutu, let me have a question.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Richard. Thank you so much for the long, very long, detailed. I think the reason why some of us don't ask questions immediately is that we are pondering over all the information and we are digesting them. It's quite a lot. Thank you. So my question is, we did learn that for professional content writing, the words shouldn't be exceeding 1,000 words. And you have taken us through the mystic type of writing where we have these top 5 personal development books, and we put images and we write about the author, the page length. Will this not be extending our words beyond 1,000? Would that still be okay? I like the fact that you said we can insert tables, which is, good because we are learning. We don't know whether that's right or wrong, but since you said it's good, so won't it exceed 1,000 words? That's my question.
So I do not have the infrastructure now. If not, because I've gone out from my PC, I'm now discussing with my phone. And excuse me, when I'm on my PC, I get there's this will I call it power? There's this aura, like I can be able to do a lot of things. So when I'm telling you people this, I'm not even wasting time. I'm showing you the thing. So I'm not just talking, I'm showing you. So, but with my phone, I'm just having conversations. You get mostly when I'm about to take questions. So what I'm trying to say is that I've gone out from my PC. So just like I did with your question last week, remind me again for this question. I'm going to show you a lot of our content, our ranking, that we have tables. See, if you understand search engine optimization is a 2-word experience. What do I mean by 2-word experience? You might not read this on the web. It's a 2-word experience because you are serving 2 masters. If you understand this thing, you've understood SEO. Search engine optimization, you are serving 2 masters. Master number 1 is the algorithm. The algorithm is not a human. It does not have feeling. It's not intuitive. The algorithm is always a black or white. 1 or 0, plus or minus. Am I communicating? I'm going somewhere, but I hope I'm communicating.
Yes, sir.
The algorithm is a code, is a mathematical set, is a mathematical program, is a mathematical program, or is an arithmetic program, or is a programmed stuff. You understand? What did they program it for? They have programmed it in a way that it is going to predict people's behavior on the web. It's predicting how people react to certain contents and using something we call scores, social scores, to determine which contents are good enough and not good enough. That is the algorithm. It doesn't change. Those mathematical sets is there. Now, the second master your service is the reader itself. The reader on its own changes. The reader has feeling. The reader A might have a personality bias, while reader B has a gender bias. Reader C has ethnic bias. Your duty as the writer is to know how you can please the algorithm and please the readers. Now, you can please the algorithm once, but you can't please all the readers at once. You can only please one reader at a time. And if you're lucky, you can please a couple of readers. But remember that even when you are writing a content on how to cook egusi soup, for instance, there are the readers who, when you mention that you fry the egusi, they will leave your content that very minute, because their bias is that you don't fry egusi. While there are the readers who, if you don't mention that you fry egusi, they will not take you serious. So your own duty is to know which of these individuals' bias you're going to feed or you're going to massage. So we have the algorithm. Algorithm has a set. Once you know the things that pleases the algorithm, which we discussed in yesterday's class, that one is fixed. It doesn't change. But now the readers are always going to change. There are readers that they don't want to read too much long words. Those ones, when they come to your content and they see a very long content, they will leave. That is not your problem. The people you want to target are the people who need more detailed information. There are readers who need statistical proof and facts. If your content does not have those things, they leave. They will not like your website. There are the ones who like all those stats. If you see it in your site, they are pleased with your site. Now, it is not the algorithm's problem. It is now the user problem. So for algorithm, we already know the things that please the algorithm. For users, what will please them will always change. As a matter of fact, they can come today and like red apple. Tomorrow is green apple they prefer. So your work is to do your own part to please the algorithm first, then the readers. But for the readers, you might not be able to please all of them. Now, this thing I explained, how it relates to the question you asked. I never said your content must be only 1,000 words, and I don't know where you read it. But I know I made a statement that your content should be long enough to contain the relevant information you need to pass down to the readers, and short enough for you to keep their attention. So it doesn't matter. There are the people that would, it's just like we have it. There are people who love short form YouTube videos. There are people who prefer well-detailed YouTube video because they want to be sure they are learning all there is in that topic that they are discussing about. So that is just the truth about the matter. But if it's going to affect, no, it's not going to negatively affect. The only thing is that the users will find it differently. But the good thing is that the algorithm is always there to decide the kind of people who read detailed content, the algorithm will show it to them. If the person who reads short content is making the search, the algorithm also has its own program system to feed them the people that have written content that are not well detailed. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you have. Thank you.
All right. Question. Okay. So in the absence of further question, remember to sign in and take a screenshot of your class attendance. I can't stress enough, go back to these things. I say a lot of stuff. Go back to these things. You would need them. Make out time. Make out time. Data should be the last, what's it called, excuse you're having not to either attend class or go through these stuffs again. If it entails using nights, you do what you can to grab these things. There are some of these trainings that the videos will just be available for a short time. Because like I told you guys, I'm giving a lot of the information for free. A lot of the information for free. And some of them are even trade secrets, which my colleagues are getting paid huge sums. So get your hands on these things, utilize them. Because some you might just come back and see, oh, we've deactivated one of the videos or two of the videos you get. So that said, this replay would try to be early on time. We've given out assignment 3 and 4 with the information we have passed. Go back if you've done assignment 3 and 4, see how you can go through it again and do it better with the new information we have passed. Assignment 5 will be shared within the week. Assignment 5 is about proofreading. We've not done the task of proofreading. Assignment 5 is about proofreading. It would come either on Tuesday or on Wednesday. Our next class is on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, we're going to be discussing about how to create evergreen SEO content. So content and how to create evergreen SEO content that stay relevant on the web over a long period of time. Kemi, okay. So that's for the next class. What other information do I have to pass? For this week's tax. Okay, Kemi, let me take your question before I give out this week's tax. Go ahead with your question.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, when you mentioned proofreading, so I remember in the class, our coach, she mentioned 3 types of proofreading, and she only went into details on one of them. She didn't really go into details with the other 2. So I wanted to ask if, I don't know if it's possible for us to, I don't really know, to maybe have like
Were you in that class?
Yes, I was.
Why didn't you ask the question in that class? Okay. This is like how many classes after that now? You should have asked the question in that class. No? You can take up the research. You can do the research on Google. Is that okay? That's also why you're a writer. You can also research that one. The reason is because we've gone past that, and if this is coming, like say a class after that, or immediately after the class, I say, okay, now we're far behind, so you can take that up as what's it called?